Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime back for another Transformers action figure review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Transformers Studio Series Bumblebee Movie number 80, Brawn. And to be completely honest, Brawn is probably my most anticipated figure of these deluxe class figures, but anyway, does the figure actually match up to my hype? Well, let's get right on into that, shall we? By starting with the packaging. And now with Brawn out of the way, looking at the packaging, got a nice 3D render of him right there at the front. Studio Series number Brawn, 80, Hasbro, Transformers, Generations, Takara, Tummy, Bumblebee. Here on the side, nice image of Brawn. Authentic Transformers! Here on the back of the box, you got... Here on the back of the box, you got obligatory product shots, and right here you got a mug shot of Brawn. Man, what did he do to deserve this mug shot? You got Studio Series, Deluxe Class, and nothing much else to the box, mostly. And here is the cardboard backdrop right here with the Battle of Cybertron. You can stick Brawn in there and recreate him getting shot in the shoulder, which still doesn't really make sense for it being Brawn, but is a nice little reference. And anyway, let's just get right on in to the figure by starting with his accessories. And here is Brawn's two accessories. He does come with this blaster right here, which looks exactly the same as the other ones, just with a peg right there and a peg right there on the bottom. But everything else is exactly the same. Two ratchets, just cast in a different plastic, and the peg is in a different spot. And also is the exact same with Wheeljacks, only Wheeljacks is smaller. So anyway, that's it for the gun. And then he also has this very nice drill bit that has this nice silver paint on it. It's got a little port here. As for storage on this guy, basically you take this and you plug it in onto the gun. You can have that as like a gun attachment. Kind of doesn't look too bad. And then that hole plugs into this little blast effect port on Brawn's back. As you can see, it is also kind of a loose connection, but it is not impossible to do. Or you can also plug it in on that one right there. Okay, it doesn't work. I would have liked to have seen another one of these pegs maybe down here, and then you could have connected this on the bottom, and that would have made it look like a Cybertronian bayonet. Just thought it was a missed opportunity. And here is taking a look at Brawn in his robot mode. He looks really good. I really like the way how he looks. Let's just get right on into the details by starting with the face sculpt. He looks great. Though the more I look at his face, the more unnerving it looks? Question mark. I don't like how he doesn't have a nose. It's kind of unsettling. Kind of looks like Voldemort. But I like his bucket head here. I love how he looks, very G1 looking. If you look past the nose, the whole figure is pretty much perfect. Looks just like his screen accurate appearance. Got the nice bright yellow and green, which is the other thing I want to mention about this figure. He's also the most brightly vibrant figure in most of the Bumblebee line. He's got the Autobot logo there. Nice detail going all over the arms with nice highlights of silver. Always appreciated. I love the amount of mechanical detail. The fists look good. The forearms are great. The shins and legs look awesome. He's got those nice looking shoes for his feet. And the back of the figure looks pretty much seamless. Like, you can't even tell that this guy transforms upon first glances. It's like, I really do like the way how he looks. For posability, the head can only swivel from side to side. Nothing much other than that. The ball joint at the shoulder, which allows for a full 360, move in and out. And then he has a nice little butterfly joint at the base of this dumbbell joint. He also has a bicep swivel that is very limited due to the way how this thing is molded, but as you can see, that green piece can move independently. Double jointed elbows that bend pretty well. This guy features a wrist swivel, which Ratchet and Wheeljack did not, so very nice. Nice, buttery, smooth waist swivel. Hips can kick forward. They can kick back. Let me move out a little bit so you can see that better. Move back that far, but if you rotate the waist, it can move back all the way. Hips can move outward that far. These wheels do kind of get in the way. No thigh swivel, but he does get a knee swivel. Bend at the knee that's slightly over 90 degrees. Toes can hinge up and down, and he's got a very nice pivot. So, pretty good articulation on this guy. Just wish that his head maybe had a little bit more posability, but my main complaint is with that bicep swivel. It's very limited. And for size comparisons, here is Brawn compared next to the Bumblebee Movie Deluxe Class Ratchet. And as you can see, Ratchet's just a little bit taller, but just as chunky. And then here is Brawn compared next to the last Transformers figure I reviewed, the Bumblebee Movie Deluxe Class Wheeljack. I actually think the sizing here is not too bad. And now I'll get into Brawn's transformation. And here we have Brawn in his robot mode. And here we have Brawn in his vehicle mode. His Cybertronian tank-looking thing. And man, is that transformation both simple, it's both simple yet satisfying, but also actually surprisingly very clever, like how they transform stuff while also keeping it very simple. I like the way how this guy converts from his robot mode to this mode. And also, I forgot to do this during the transformation. This drill bit can go into this little 5mm port right up here, and now the drill is right there in the front for his little drilling machine. You don't actually have to have the gun in there, plus it just wants to fall off anyway. But obviously you can also just peg it in like that maybe, and that works pretty good, I guess. But anyway, getting rid of the gun there, that's really annoying. I love the mechanical detail, nice highlights of silver, also highlight this vehicle mode. I love the bubbly looking window. Again, bright appealing colors while also keeping some nice grays and dark gunmetals here throughout the vehicle. I love the conversion of the feet and the legs, and just everything just looks, it doesn't even look like it. None of it looks like the robot mode anymore. Like, this chest doesn't even look like the chest anymore. And these arms tuck in so well, and the legs, and it's just very well done. And if you don't like the drill bit, you can just hinge this part down. It reveals a little grill, and you just remove that, and you can put that off to the side. Very nice little vehicle there. This hole is a little bit weird, but you can just kind of think of it as like a little seating area for humans, I guess, even though this is a Cybertronian mode, or even like a little area for the gun to poke out of, like this, I guess. I don't know, something like that. But anyway, I really like the vehicle mode, and he does roll pretty well for being very close to the ground. So anyway, now getting into some good old vehicle comparisons. Here is Brawn next to the Bumblebee Movie Ratchet. Very nice looking comparison here. And then here is Brawn with my last Transformers review, the Transformers Bumblebee Movie Wheeljack. And yeah, I like the comparison between these Cybertronian vehicle modes. Not too bad looking. So anyway, that is basically it for that. And that is basically it for my review on the Transformers Bumblebee Movie Deluxe Class Brawn. And yes, I can say that this Brawn figure did meet up to my high expectations on him. My only complaints is, even though this figure does make up for some of these in accessories, some of his articulation is a little bit limited and isn't able to do what I wish it could. Such as his head not being able to look up and down at all. It's just a basic swivel rotating side to side. Doesn't even rotate all that far anyway. But what you do get is pretty serviceable. But my main complaint is in his bicep joints. Those bicep swivels are very limited, and I think they could have come up with a better way on how to have those have a little bit more range, because there are some poses that do require for them, and since they're so limited, it makes him look a little bit stiff in some poses. But in poses like this, he really outshines even Ratchet and Wheeljack. So yeah, I really do like this figure. If I had to give this figure a rating, I give him a solid 9 out of 10. He was more closer to a 10 because he was just barely missing the mark, but I do still love how this figure came out. I highly recommend this guy if you're able to find one. And this was my first ever Brawn figure. That's why I never had one compared with any other Brawns. But anyway, that is basically it for my review. Subscribe, comment, like, and all that stuff, you know. Thank you all for watching. This has been Briximus Prime, and I'll catch you guys next time.